Okay, so what are the best buys in the current Pokemon markets? I know this market is going pretty crazy right now. Everything seems to be going up, but in my opinion, there's still a few very undervalued products. And the first two are still going to be 151 and Paldean Fates booster bundles. Now, in my last video about a week ago, I told you guys that I was still buying these for under $60, under $70 locally on Facebook Marketplace, and right now those deals are drying up. I was able to buy about 30 more 151 booster bundles and about 20 more Paldean Fates booster bundles for under $65. But right now, I'm targeting under $80 for both of these. I think under $80 is still a pretty massive steal for both these booster bundles. These have a low chance of reprints, right? We know they're going out of print in about April of 2026. And both of these sets are showing to be very, very strong sets for the future, and they're showing their strength right now in terms of their prices, right? If you take a look at 151, these prices are going up. The total set value is now climbing. It climbed from 900 now to about 1,200. And for Paldean Fates is even more of a drastic price increase, right? You see this Bubble Mew currently at about $700. I think this will catch up to the Umbreon from Prismatic very, very soon. I can definitely see this becoming the #1 top chase card by the start of 2026. And also the Charizard and Gardevoir are going up as well. Charizard is now over $260. Gardevoir is now over $100. This was about, $50, $40 for the longest time. Both of these sets are showing why they are some of the best sets of Scarlet and Violet, and I can definitely see these doing extremely well in the future, way over the $80 per booster bundle price mark. And right now, if you take a look at TCG player prices, right, 151 booster bundles are about $86, $87, which is really good. I still think that is very undervalued, however. If you take a look at the listings, right, these basically go to 90 very, very quickly, and then 95, right? These are selling a lot every single day. And Paldean Fates is showing as 104 lowest listed, but locally, guys, you can still find these for about that $80 range. I've seen many listings for that $80 range. Even a week ago, I was able to find these for $60. So Paldean Fates booster bundles, I think, if you find it for under $80, it's still a good buy. I wouldn't really buy it at 104. I think that is pretty steep. Maybe instead buy the 3-pack blisters. Now going to the next items, these are going to be Prismatic Evolutions booster bundles and Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. These are the regular ETBs. I think regular ETBs are very undervalued right now, sitting at only, $100 or even less than $100 if you find it locally. And PC ETBs, I think, are fairly valued now. Those are at around $350 now, which I think is a pretty fair value. They were at $200 a while ago, which was extremely undervalued, and I told you guys to pick it up at $200. These ETBs have stayed in that $100 range for a very long time now, and I think it's just a matter of time before we get another price increase for these ETBs. Now, these ETBs have been releasing, right, through Costco, through Sam's Club, and they're still restocking even on Target, but there will be a time when these restocks slow down or maybe even stop entirely, right? Somewhere in the next 6 months to a year. And that's when these ETBs are going to shoot up drastically. They've already started to creep up a little bit as, people have been priced out of 151 and Paldean Fates, and they're looking at the next best thing in the market, which is Prismatic. But I think it's going to take a little bit more time, so I think you have a little bit more time, maybe a few weeks, a few months, to pick up more Prismatic ETBs under $100. Now, there's also Prismatic Evolutions booster bundles. Now, these I think will take a little bit longer to get up to the same price as 151 and Paldean Fates, but it will happen, and these are currently one of the best value buys on the market because we've seen so many Costco bundles that have released. We see the prices of booster bundles really drop recently, and they're currently sitting at around, I think, $58, $56 market price, which is, one of the lowest it's ever been. If you take a look at the chart, right, this is the lowest booster bundles have ever been since release, which is pretty crazy. So this is definitely the time to pick up Prismatic booster bundles, in my opinion, even though, right, we know that these will probably continue getting printed for the foreseeable future. A lot of people right now are trying to just get rid of these as fast as they can. So I've been seeing deals on Facebook Marketplace for Prismatic bundles under $50. I think around that $50 to $55 range is a perfect, fantastic buy for Prismatic bundles. This set, in my opinion, is still the best set of Scarlet and Violet, right? I love Paldean Fates, I love 151, I love Destined Rivals, but Prismatic is still the king, right? It has the highest total set value. It has all of the evolutions in SIR form. It has this Roaring Moon, the Shinji Kanda artwork. It has a lot of other popular newer generation Pokemon, like the Raging Bolt, like the Ceruledge, like the Dragapult. It has the Master Balls. It has a lot of things to offer. And this set right now is being overshadowed by 151 and by Paldean Fates. And the reason for that is because these are going out of print soon. But a lot of people forget that Prismatic is almost a year old, right? It came out in January 2025. Currently, it's September 2025. So about 4 more months, and Prismatic is officially 1 year old. And right now, with Prismatic being so much cheaper than 151 and so much cheaper than Paldean Fates, I just think it's really, really undervalued. The next 2 products are going to be booster boxes, and the first booster box I'm going to cover is Silver Tempest. I think if you can find Silver Tempest for under $450, I think that's an absolute steal of a price. Let's take a look at the cards of Silver Tempest. Silver Tempest has this Lugia, which I think is still undervalued, right? $369. I think this Lugia is easily a $500 plus card. And then this Rayquaza, right? I think this is easily a $100 plus card, currently sitting at $87. You've seen trainer galleries from Lost Origin, from Brilliant Stars, absolutely take off in the past couple of days. But I think Rayquaza is still undervalued. I think the 2 Blazikins are still undervalued. I think Silver Tempest has a lot to offer, right? It has not the greatest depth, but it has really, really good quality top chases in the Lugia, the Rayquaza, and the 2 Blazikins. And it has, a lot of really cool trainers as well, right? These maybe aren't the most desirable, but they're still trainer gallery cards, and they're still going to be very desirable in the future. I think $450 for Silver Tempest for a booster box that is now, close to 3 years old, I think is an absolute steal. And I don't think this is going to last too much longer. If you take a look at Silver Tempest booster boxes on TCG Player, right, the quantity is drying up. We currently have 96 total quantity on the market. But if you take a look, a lot of these are Chinese, a lot of these are Korean, and then you really don't get to English until you get to the second page. So one seller has it for $445 and then immediately jumps up to $475 and then $495 and then $500, right? So Silver Tempest is basically already a $500 booster box in a couple of days, and I believe it's only going to go up from there. I think this will be a $600 plus booster box by the end of 2025. And the last booster box I want to talk about, you guys already know, it's going to be Destined Rivals. I think this is still undervalued at $330 or however much it's at right now. Let's actually take a look at the price. So right now it's actually sitting at $340. I think if you can find this for under $330, preferably closer to that $300 range, although it's getting harder and harder to find those deals. I was able to find one last week for $300, didn't pull the trigger, wish I did, but I think Destined Rivals is still a fantastic buy even at today's current market price. But with new sets like Mega Evolution already coming out of the gates at $300, I really don't think Destined Rivals around that 300 or maybe low 300 range is a bad buy at all. Destined Rivals, I think, is a better set than Mega Evolution, and I think it's a better set than all of the other main sets in Scarlet and Violet. It's one of the most iconic sets that we've ever gotten, right? It's a set that is based around Team Rocket, that is always going to be popular. Currently, I have 26 booster boxes, but I want to get more, right? I want at least a couple more cases of this before it goes out of print. And right now, the window, it seems like it's closing, right? We're not really getting reprints of booster boxes anymore. If you take a look at even booster pack reprints, right? We haven't seen these new products get Destined Rivals packs that much. The Moltres UPC only contained, I think, 2 booster packs of Destined Rivals, which is crazy, right? So it seems like even though they're not really printing the booster boxes, the packs, they're not even printing that much as well, right? So Destined Rivals does not seem to be getting too many reprints. Hopefully that will change in the future because I want, at least 50 to 70 booster boxes of this ideally, but that window really does seem like it's closing, right? We're not going to be getting as many booster boxes as I hoped, and I hope that changes. But right now, it's best to pick up a small amount of this if you don't have any, and then just wait and dollar cost average if it goes down, right? If you pick it up right now for $320, $330, and let's say a year later it gets a massive reprint, drops it back down to $250, right? You'll be able to say, hey, I have some booster boxes that I got for a higher price, but now it's the perfect opportunity to buy more at this lower price and lower my average cost, because Destined Rivals one day will be a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 booster box very, very easily. So getting in at $330 right now is really not that bad of a deal if you think about the long term. That's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you're currently buying in today's markets, and I'll see you guys in the next video.